Hi everybody and welcome back. This is part number 2 of art movements and art masterpieces. I think my friends in the first video we ended with the neoclassical tradition. This time we're going to begin with the period called Romanticism. Now, if there is one word to characterize this particular movement, it would have to be emotional. Because my friends, most of the paintings produced in the Romantic tradition are all focused on emotions. And I think the perfect example would have to be the painting entitled Liberty Leading the People by Eugene Delacroix. Next is realism. Now my friends, how do we know if an art piece belongs to this movement? The answer is simple. My friends, in the past, before realism, most of the subjects of art pieces are gods and goddesses, kings and queens, and heroes. But my friends, in the realist tradition, the focus shifted to the common people. It means, my friends, for the very first time in art history, the common people are now depicted in art. And I think, my friends, the best painting to represent this period would have to be the Stone Breakers or Stone Cutters by Gustave Courbet. Next is Impressionism. And my friends, most experts would believe that Impressionism is the beginning of modern art. And also, they would say that this is the last period where art can still be understood. My friends, who are the proponents of this particular movement? Well, number 1, we have Claude Monet. Number 2, Edouard Manet. Number 3, Edgar Degas. And number 4, Pierre-Auguste Renoir. If you're going to ask me which painting would best represent this movement, I would have to say Claude Monet's Impressions Sunrise. Because my friends, the name Impressionism was actually lifted from that particular art piece. So that must be an important representation of the movement. The next movement is Post-Impressionism. And my friends, I think in this movement, there's only one name, and that is Vincent van Gogh. And the painting to represent this movement would have to be The Starry Night, the shirt. Now, in Expressionism, I can only think of two names. It could be Edvard Munch or it could be Paul Gauguin. But I would say, my friends, that in terms of the technique, it would have to be more of Edvard Munch, most especially in his painting, The Scream. Now, in the movement called Fauvism, I think there's only one name that would appear, and that is Henri Matisse. And the painting to represent this period would have to be The Dance. In terms of Surrealism, I have two names in mind. Number 1 is René Magritte, and number 2 is Salvador Dali. But I would have to say that Salvador Dali is my choice, and the painting to represent this period is Persistence of Memory. In Cubism, on the other hand, I think only one name would surface, and that is Pablo Picasso. And for me, my favorite painting of Pablo Picasso would have to be Nude, Green Leaves, and Bust. Next, Abstract Expressionism. I have two choices for this one. Number 1 is Mark Rothko, and number 2 is Jackson Pollock. But I think I'm more leaning towards Jackson Pollock, particularly in his work Autumn Rhythm. Next is pop art. And my friends, I have two names in my mind. Number 1 is Andy Warhol with his soup cans, and number 2, Roy Lichtenstein. Well, my friends, I think I would have to choose Andy Warhol and his soup cans. That's about it, everybody. Now, how about you? Do you agree with my choices? Now, to my USC students, please watch the rest of the video for you to get the instructions for your next online activity. To the rest of you, thank you for watching and see you again soon.